Hello my beautiful friends, my name is Alexandria and today I'm going to sit down and film my April TBR video. I actually filmed this before and it didn't work out, so hopefully this will be much more successful. I'm trying to also get this done as quickly as possible because I have an appointment that I need to go to. So if you would like to see all the books that I decided to choose for this month, then just keep on watching. So like I said, I do have an appointment to go to, so I'm gonna try to keep this short and sweet as possible. There is something that I'm really excited to start incorporating into my TBR videos, starting with this one, and it is this beautiful deck of TBR cards. This is from the lovely Bowties and Books, Jessie. I was really excited to hear about these TBR cards because, like I have said in many videos, it's really important for me to be diversifying my reading, and I have so many books on my TBR that sometimes I focus on the books that are like closer to the top of my list of books that I want to read, but I want to make sure that I am really diversifying not only the authors that I'm reading, but also the experiences of the characters and the genres and the environments and all of that jazz. And so I'm really excited to start incorporating this into my TBR practice. And I love a good deck of cards because, you know, I love oracle decks and tarot decks, and so this is kind of along the similar vein, and it gets me to be a little bit more creative and gets my mind working a little bit more when it comes to picking out the books that I'm going to choose for the month ahead. So I went ahead and already chose 3 cards for this month. I only chose 3 for this month because I have a couple of other books that I am wanting to read as well, and I will tell y'all about that after I tell you about these cards that I'm picking. But yes, let's go ahead and get to that clip where I went ahead and chose those cards for this month. I already shuffled them. I'm gonna try to find a better setup for this, but this is what we got right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pick 3 cards from the deck for this month. I'm gonna pick 1, 2, 3. All right, so these are the 3 cards that I ended up picking for this month. Go ahead and go through them. I'm going to show you them, and then I'm going to go ahead and pick out the books that I'm going to use for each prompt. So the first card is ABC. Title starts with the first letter of your name, so I'll be picking a book that starts with the letter A. The next card is Never Forget, a book centering Black Lives Matter. And then the last card is Frida Kahlo, a magical realism by a Latinx/Hispanic author. All the cards, and I'm going to go ahead and pick which books I'm going to choose for these prompts. All right, so I don't know if you got a good look at this deck, but it's absolutely beautiful. I love it so much, and I'm so happy to have it in my life. So for the first card that I picked, which is Frida Kahlo, Magical Realism by a Latinx Hispanic author, I decided to go ahead and pick Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. I've had this on my TBR for a really long time, and I just haven't gotten a chance to pick it up. But it is one of those books that is readily available at my library. I actually just borrowed it on my tablet. And so I'm going to read that ASAP. I've been wanting to read it for a long time. I believe there is some queer representation, and I'm very, very excited about that because I just need more of that in my life. I really wanted to do a full month with queer books because I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit tired of heterosexuals at this time. But we're gonna save that for another month. But yes, I'm really excited to read this one. I believe I don't really know what it's about, to be honest. I know that it's a boy who's kind of trying to prove himself, and he ends up bringing someone back from the dead or something like that. But it looks really good, and if I do end up liking it, I'm definitely going to purchase it because the cover is absolutely beautiful. For the next card, I have ABC. Title starts with the first letter of your name. My name is Alexandria, so I'm picking a book that starts with A. Luckily, one of the books that I was already planning on reading starts with A, so we're good there. And it is Act Your Age, Eve Brown. This is the last book in the Brown Sisters trilogy. The first book is Get a Life, Chloe Brown. The second book is Take a Hint, Dani Brown. And the last one is Act Your Age, Eve Brown. I read Take a Hint, Dani Brown. I haven't made a wrap-up video for last month, but holy shit, I loved it. So much more than Get a Life, Chloe Brown. Oh man, I really need to buy all of these books. But I'm really excited to read this last one because I've heard that it's really good as well. And then the last card I have is Never Forget, a book centering Black Lives Matter. And I kind of went a little bit abstract with this one because over the last month I've been dealing with a lot of health issues and my anxiety has been very high, and so I'm trying to pick books a little bit more on the lighter side if I can, for the most part. So I didn't want to read something too extremely triggering. So I decided to go ahead and pick one of the books that I've had on my TBR for a while and that I actually started a couple months ago, but I didn't end up finishing, and that is The Warmth of Other Suns. This is a nonfiction book that is focused on telling the story of basically this great migration that isn't really well talked about, of people who were enslaved in the South moving to the North, I believe, if I'm remembering that correctly. And so it's a really big book. It's gonna take me some time to finish it. I'm probably not gonna end up finishing it by the end of this month, but I want to start kind of making a dent in it. I'm probably gonna listen to it on audiobook, use one of my Audible credits. And so yeah, I think that that's just a really important piece of history, and I think that it's gonna be really beneficial to me and my life overall. And I feel like the Black Lives Matter movement isn't just about the movement itself, it's also centering a lot of there are so many different aspects to it, and focusing on our history and our joy and our creation, and just so many different things can be related to this topic. And so that's kind of the approach that I decided to go with. And I hope that's okay. I guess these are my cards now, so I can do whatever the fuck I want. So yeah, that is all of the books that I'm choosing for these cards this month. I'm so excited. I'm probably gonna have like a full month where I just choose cards, because it was actually really fun and kind of scary picking my TBR from these cards. I'm gonna go ahead and get on to the books that I am going to attempt to read this month. May not read all of them. I'm definitely a mood reader. It depends on what I feel like reading, what becomes available at the library, and so on and so forth. So these two books, I kind of like definitely want to read them, but it's fine if I don't. And these are two books that I recently bought. The first one is a nonfiction book. Kind of wanting to read this like on a daily basis. This is called Heart-Minded: How to Hold Yourself and Others in Love. I heard about this author from one of her podcasts that I listened to and cried like a little baby. I will put it down below because it was really, really beautiful. And so I wanted to start listening to more of her like meditations and stuff. The awesome thing about this book is that every chapter there is a free guided meditation that goes along with it. And so that's really exciting. I want to get into meditating more. It's challenging for me to do, but after this past month, I know that it's something that I really need to prioritize and really try to make it a practice, a daily practice for me. So this book will definitely be helpful for that. I feel like it's gonna be triggering, but also very powerful as well. So this is something that I'm going to be reading / listening to. And then the next book is Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. Oh, I'm so excited. So beautiful. This, The Gilded Ones, and A Song of Race and Ruin, just sitting on my bookshelf, look so beautiful. I love how they look. They just bring me so much joy. This is about a 16-year-old girl named Bree, I believe. Her mother dies and she ends up going to this really prestigious school or program at a school, and she ends up in like there's like a magical attack or something like that. And all of this stuff happens. She ends up being introduced or coming across this secret society that is supposed to be like Knights of Arthur, King Arthur or something like that. I really love anything that's a part of like Arthurian mythology. It makes me really happy inside. And look at this cover. The fact that there is going to be black girl magic in this just like brings me so much joy inside of my soul, and I am stoked to read this. I was going to start reading it last month, but I had some other books that I needed to read. But this month I am almost positive that this is going to happen. It's a thick one, but I can handle it. The next book is Shadow and Bone. This is something that I've heard so many people talking about. It's very hyped up. I believe it's connected to Six of Crows, if I'm remembering correctly. I started Six of Crows sometime last year, didn't finish it because I was bored out of my mind. I actually bought it on my Kindle like a month or two ago because I had seen that the trailer came out for the Netflix show, and I want to be a part of the group and talk about the Netflix show. So my goal is to finish it before the Netflix show comes out, so then I can watch that. Maybe I'll do a little vlog when I do so. We'll see. I'm gonna try that out, see if I like it. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you posted. There's a fuzzy. A lot of these books are actually in series that I've already started, so I'm just kind of continuing on with it. So the next book is The Stone Sky. This is the third and final book in the Broken Earth trilogy. I read the second one, The Obelisk Gate, in March, and it was so good. I need to talk about it in my wrap-up video, but loved it so much. Love this series, and I'm so excited to see how it wraps up because I've heard that the last book is really amazing. Not sure how you could get any better than what is already there, but we will see. N.K. Jemisin is definitely one of my favorite authors. Along with that as well, I'm going to be reading Golden Sun. The first book is Red Rising. I absolutely love that as well. I'm gonna talk about it in my wrap-up video, and I'm just really excited to see where the story goes with this. I have no idea what's going on in it, but where the last one ended left me shook, and so I'm really excited to read this next book in the series. And then another book that's in a series that I also read is the Pattern Master series, I believe, by Octavia E. Butler. And the second book is Mind of My Mind. The first book was Wild Seed. I didn't realize it at the time, but Wild Seed, I guess, is like a prequel to the series. And so I'm interested to see where it's gonna go because I have no idea how I felt. I have no idea how I feel about Wild Seed. I still haven't rated it on Goodreads. So I'm interested to see where the series goes. I really love Octavia E. Butler. The first book that I read by this author was Kindred, and I just ate it up. Absolutely loved it. We'll see where it goes. Again, I'm trying to read one book by this author every month if I can. And so yeah, that's the next one that I'm going to read. And then the last one that I have on my list is kind of like a random one that I decided to throw in. I read The Hobbit a couple months ago. I think it was maybe in January, and I absolutely loved it. It gave me all of the cozy vibes. And I really want to read the rest of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I have all of them on my bookshelf, so I figure why not? So I'm hoping to be able to get to the Fellowship of the Ring. I've heard that the vibes are kind of different from The Hobbit. I really loved the movies, so I'm hoping that I will like the book as well. I don't know, we'll see. I've heard that there's a lot of information, a lot of world building. I'll probably tag this on to like the end of the month as like an extra book if I want to read it. And if I don't, it won't be that big of a deal. So that's pretty much it. Wow, I'm proud of myself for actually not getting completely off track and distracted by all of the things. It's gonna be kind of a busy month. My child is turning 5, which is very exciting. We have some things planned, and so that's going to be fun. And yeah, just trying to get back on track with health and wellness and my spiritual practice and all the things that I want and need to be focused on, and it's exciting. It's great. We've got a great month ahead of us. I hope you're all doing well, and let me know any books that you are planning on reading this month. If you have read any of these books, let me know as well what you think of them. Let's chat in the comments. I will see you in my next video. I hope you are staying safe and finding joy in whatever way it is that you can. Love you.